Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today, we have a pub match high street round for you. It should be a good one. With that being said, I hope you enjoy the battle. Right, here we are high street. We have myself as Guardian Eagle with Corded as a special guest tonight. How's it going, Corded?
That's going good.
That is good to hear. So, High Street, a very interesting map. The server size is not that big. It's about a 75v75. That's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. But it'll be interesting to see on these High Street maps with with more smaller pops. That doesn't make any sense at all. But more old world rights with these smaller pop servers. So that's what this will be.
Crazy that a year ago this would be a full server and it'd be blowing minds. Now it's only a half.
Exactly.
About 2 months ago or 3 months ago, I saw that we've had 300-man servers longer than 200-man servers. That was a really interesting thing.
That's crazy. I wonder when they're gonna release 400-man servers because I know they did the test a couple months ago.
Can you look at point right now? I want to see if you see this ragdoll as well. Over to your right.
This guy?
Oh no! Hang on, I'm gonna take a screenshot of it. This guy, on my screen, this guy's upside down. His face is in the dirt, and his legs are spread up in the air. It's hilarious.
Oh, that's cool.
I'll send it at some point.
Yes, I want to see that. So Union is taking the more modern approach to this. Man, I don't know how old this strategy is. I just know ever since I've played this the strategy. But they pull back off a point onto the stone wall. Usually Union is completely behind the stone wall. They aren't on the stairwell. They're on the stones back here where half the team is. But
right now, CSA is going for the early cap, it seems.
Yeah,
it's about the whole team.
Which is what CSA should be doing. They need to draw the Union out. And then if we look all the way up here, we have Confederate artillery. Oh, that must be very hard to hit your shots.
It is quite difficult. I've tried to do it a bunch of times. And if you don't have a person watching with binoculars, it's almost impossible to see what you're hitting.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine at that distance. I mean, that's just insane. So, Confederates aren't going for point. They're going down. They're going to try to flank the Union from the side. So, yeah. With that being said, right after these Confederates... Actually, I kind of want to go through the officers for each team. We have Toot here on the Union, Microwave from IVB, and Faven from 6 Wisconsin. Currently shifting their men down this stairwell to engage the Confederates, reposition their men on a stone wall facing down the hill. For the Confederates, we have Armistead here. Who's the JKB? Oh, he's in 2nd Texas, though. Do you know
I'm not sure. It looks like it'd be Jenkins Brigade, but that's not the same people.
Yeah, I know there's a Jefferson Legion, or Jefferson Davis Legion, but that's JDL. We have Vest Pearl here as a pubby. Confederates do end up capping, but that's not the majority of their team. Who is the officer here? Man Dugas, 13 here, led his 5 men to cap the point. But
yeah, the CSA that's been over here, they have not let themselves have any cover. The CSA is holding all that stone wall goodness, and CSA has been right in their face.
Exactly. I mean, at least the good part for the Confederates is if they lose their flags, it's not the end of the world because of how small this map is.
Right.
So that's good at least. But the Confederates are very spread out. Again. They have
the good thing about this map is that it's a short distance if they had to be anywhere.
They will, that's for sure. Union not really moving in to recap, which I'm very surprised by, because they just destroyed the Confederates on the bottom. They have to realize for now that they outnumber the Confederates. They should push in a recap before the Confederates can remuster their forces, which, as you can see, they're starting to come down through spawn. But they're not going straight for the point. They're going up on top.
Kind of wonder if they're trying to let the Union take point back again.
Yeah.
I don't see really an advantage to them doing that.
Yeah, I didn't realize. We were both stuck.
I don't think they wanted to cap in the first place. I think just those 5 guys capped it on their own accord.
It's possible. And you can't blame any officer for doing that. People are just always going to cap or don't know that they're on cap. And in case you don't know, for the people listening, you can press T and you can see if you're on cap or not. Let's say capturing or defending.
Exactly.
Let's say it in the bottom right. Just where it says double click, what regiment you're in, all that good information.
A while ago, Sevi marked out where the points were on each map before they had that system where you could see if you were on point or not. He got so frustrated when they released it because he spent all that time making those things. But
yeah,
it is kind of funny though sometimes when people thought they were on point and they weren't. But
in some places it's really weird to see that some areas you're in cap and then some places it's not.
oh yeah,
I know, like places on the hills counterattack. It's like it's not a perfect circle. It's like very offset. You could be like halfway up the hill and still be on cap. Very strange.
that is weird. So Union has sent a force on the point. They are recapping it. Some guys tried to get that flag, but they kept dying there. I kind of want to look at if it's inbounds for my spectator. I want to see the artillery view from Confederates.
There's also the Manly battery that's on the other side.
No way! I didn't realize they were on both sides.
Typically, when
Wow.
when you have one of these batteries, the other one's going to be up too. So, like I think they're also both there for Harper's Graveyard and Washington Street, which is just a pain. Actually, and Shenandoah Street, if you can believe it.
Huh. Where the other Confederate battery is, the one with by all the tents. Is both of them by tents?
I think there might be tents at the French one.
Is that the...
No, there's not.
There's only one guy on this, or there's 3 guys on this battery. Rob, too, is at it, but... Oh, it's such a beautiful view. The important things of this battle, right? Hiking up through Maryland Heights in real life was the greatest thing ever, and I recommend it to anyone that goes to Harper's Ferry. It is painful, but it's well worth the view at the end.
I went to Harper's Ferry, but none of the people I went with wanted to go up the mountain, and I was so sad.
I went with my family, and we went to Bull Run beforehand, and I convinced them that we had to go up there. And we did. So, it looks just like War of Rights. It's great.
Oh yeah. The devs did a lot of work to make sure it looks very similar. And just so you know, on Maryland Heights, that map, the Union and the Confederacy can get to the Overlook. There's like a special little path that the CSI can take going along the road.
I didn't know Confederates could get there. I know Union could.
I'm pretty sure they can.
I've never tried it.
Either way, you can spawn into an empty server and take a look at it. It's the best screenshots you'll get.
100% agree. Harper's Ferry is an absolutely beautiful battlefield to get screenshots on. It's my wallpaper, the Rivers Crossing Bridge at night. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, if you're going to take screenshots, then crank every setting you have up, because you're not going to move, so you don't have to worry about frame rates.
Exactly. So both sides are now engaged. I think we're still in that original counterattack before I went off looking at artillery and talking about other stuff. But yeah, nothing really too much happening. Both sides are getting close. Union, again, they're not capping. They pull off the stone wall, their original defensive positions, and now they are just in a shootout. Which, I don't know if they're trying to knock the Confederates the last time, because, especially in pub matches, I learned 20 minutes is enough time to knock them especially even when you're not being majorly aggressive. It's possible. It's hard, but
Hey guys.
Hey, if there's not enough room behind the rock, get up right here. Get on that line. Those of you who don't fit behind the
On this
Union.
map, I'm not sure they can really do it because there's going to be a lot of cover for the CSA. Since they're going to be so close quarters, they're going to trade kills a lot. So they're not really going to win on tickets, I think.
Exactly. So, Union, you can hear them yelling. They're gonna move up now. They aren't moving towards the. They're just pushing forward on the hill. Actually, they might be going to point. Confederates are still capping the point here. It's so hard for the Union. Confederates are all bunched up there. Sure, Union has easy shots, but any Union that peeks out on the road is gonna get hit.
Now you got Union charging the low road.
There we go.
And unless they can get help from the top, they're not going to be that effective. You've got CSA coming from their spawn. They can move him and hit that attacking group.
That Union, they did well.
Yeah.
They're still fighting.
This would be a perfect opportunity for Union to counterattack.
I would agree. I don't know if they'll recognize it though. They're still losing point. As you know, they're winning. They just had no one on point. Oh, that's
There's got to
flag.
be someone calling out, "Charge now! Charge now!"
The flag bearer T-Bird was capping for a moment to get the flag. But, we do see some Union moving up to where the Confederates just got wiped. Bill, the flag bearer, just ran right into 5 Union guys. And now Union is capping the point. Union has control of the map. They're probably going to fall back to the stone wall, I guess.
Alright, from the line, guys. From the line.
Yeah, it's a really strong position that
Line up, boys.
there's
Line.
not really any better
South,
opportunities
east,
on this
southeast,
map.
like those anchors on the road.
I would agree.
You got great cover, and you can, from that stone wall, you can go on either of the 3 lanes of attack as Union.
Exactly. And those 3 lanes are huge, right? We just saw the Union use one of those lanes and completely wipe out the Confederates that were on point. We do have Corn Pop as the CSA officer now. But yeah, we'll see if the Union falls back. Where are their officers going? Apologize for the drop in frames.
Now that we have the point, hold here and just mow them down if they show themselves.
So, I just heard Faven say that they are going to hold point and wait for the Confederates to come to them.
Not sure I would do that.
No,
Because-
you're not going to win on tickets. It's going to be even ticket drain on both sides, and Confederates have more tickets than you.
Right. And pretty much on point is the only place that manly battery can hit you. So they're standing in the one spot that a battery can hit.
But can they hit, though? That is the
Yeah,
question.
theoretically they can.
I would charge if I were Confederates.
Yeah, I mean, they've got just about similar numbers. Especially if they can get help from the top, too.
Yeah, for sure. I don't... Oh, they're getting some nice shots. Yeah, Union could easily... I mean, even if you don't win, be aggressive. Knock down tickets. Don't wait around and do these shootouts. It is understandable to avoid ticket loss, but I think these games are decided in the charges, a shootout. Never decides who wins. If anything, it helps the defenders.
Yeah, charges are the theme of Harper's Ferry. Yes, you got River Crossing, Downtown, High Street, Shenandoah Street, Harper's Graveyard. Those are all charging maps. Especially Redoubt, that's the only option you have.
But this is... Imagine if you could go in all these houses.
Oh, that would be... That would sound cool, but that would be awful.
Yeah, it would be terrible for coordination. It might be cool for the defense, though.
I have always wanted to go on like the little balconies.
Yeah. Would be very, very cool. A lot of the CSA are moving up top now. They are.
I really don't like the devs that they don't allow us to go in the church. It's the nice chapel at the top of the hill.
Oh. What's inside?
Yeah,
of it?
sadly there's nothing in there.
There's nothing in there.
No. I couldn't even put just pews or something in there.
How dare you try to make us have good quality gameplay. So yeah, Union hitting, taking losses. Not too much of a surprise here. Confederates could charge and then charge again, and Union goes to breaking.
Mm-hmm. Right now the Union's kind of spread out. They're way far up than they have any business being.
I would agree with that. I mean, you have these. What I think is really killing the Union is.
Fucking Union boy to the right.
You have a couple Rambos going out and trying to get some stabs off and whatnot. I mean, Confederates aren't. At least it doesn't appear that they are Ramboing as bad. Just as I look at a Rambo who is running out. Actually, he ran back. Good man. Wow. An out-of-line kill causes the Confederates to go to taking losses. They're about a minute apart. I think it's a minute. But
I think I'd say they're close to even.
yeah. Oh my goodness, everyone's so spread out.
There's 36 minutes left, so it's really going to come down to who goes to final push or last stand first.
Exactly.
And this is not a good map to go on last stand.
No. It's so small, you have nowhere to hide.
That and CSA has such a close spawn that it doesn't matter how good you are at shooting, they're gonna just endlessly charge you.
Exactly. That when Confederates have final push though, that'll be big. Because it'll probably only be like a minute final push. Because the final push timer, so when you hit final push, you still have infinite tickets as the attackers. It's just the timer will get lowered to how long it takes to get from your spawn to point 2 times without bayonets and reloads. And on that map, it's probably 30 seconds to get from main to point without bayonets and reloads. So
even with like the reduced time, since it's a smaller map, it's still a short run, so you'll still have a good bit of stamina left. And people are going to be closer together, so it's going to be more effective charges.
Exactly. Yeah, even though that smaller timer, like the stuff you just said, is valid and helps the attackers even more. Union is falling back here. I don't know if it's to try to return to those stone positions or deal with these Confederate skirmishers. My guess is the second, because the whole Union team is not moving back.
Oh yeah, Union's gonna want that original position again.
But the only problem is if those guys go there, half the team is still up in front.
Oh wow, they really are.
Yeah. Actually, the other officer, one of the 2 officers up here, 2-2, is telling you when to pull back.
They see us, they stopped right for us.
I think what would really work out for the CSA is if they get all the respawners to go up top and try and take that stone wall.
I would agree.
Because then they can cut off the Union's reinforcements to point if they take it.
Exactly. Once that Union group up front, actually we do have a Union group. Actually, I don't even really, I guess I can call it a group. There's guys coming from spawn coming to that lower area that are skirmishing the Confederates. But that's going to suck for the Union. Majority of the team is holding back at that stone wall, which was what the Union needs to do. But then again, Union has 10 to 15 Rambos out here that are going to die. get on a line, which is 5 times the information ticket loss, for those who don't know. So all these auto lines are going to kill the Union. Union will hit braking, and then Union will have no one near point. But then again, because like it's such a small map, Union could get there. Union hits braking, Confederates need the bomb rush point. Union needs to do the same.
Union's already moving toward the center.
Confederate artillery, like 30 seconds too early there. But they hit the point.
There are some CSA on point, but they're not in the gap zone, I don't think.
Most of the Confederates are holding up on the top of the hill. They don't care. Union is still not going on the point. What are we doing, guys?
There's just skirmishers fighting over the point. And all the whole big forces are just staying back.
Union officer pulling back to the stone wall again. This is painful. Confederates just need to charge straight into point, and they would win. They would have won by now. Union has the whole team holding down here now. Union now charging in the point, probably because they started to lose it.
Wait, I wouldn't even say they're losing it.
No,
Because there's only a couple CSA on it.
exactly. It was going down a little bit, and that probably triggered this push. They aren't stopping at the point. They're going all the way.
I think the CSA at the top of the hill might just be waiting for the Union to come to point so they can get around them.
See here.
They can come through these alleyways and get them.
And now they are charging.
Here we go.
Yeah, Union overshot the point. Actually, I don't think at the end of that road is point. Actually, I don't know. But regardless,
Sure. Yeah,
Confederates.
CSA is gonna surround them now.
CSA just got artillery team killed.
Great. I know when you're that far away from people, they'll despawn, and you literally can't see anything. Except to rely on the guy with the binoculars.
So, Confederates hit braking. It'll be a very... Yeah, the Confederates are ahead too on tickets. So, we are probably going to see the Union hit last stand before the Confederates get close to...
They're not that far ahead on tickets, though.
That is true.
They could turn around and get the up on them.
For sure. So, at least the Union is organized in their defense. More than earlier. I guess they do have a decent amount of guys out there, but at least they are organized. Which is key to having fun. For the most part. Confederates reforming after the failed half charge.
Looked like everyone that was up top committed. It's about 10, 20 people still up there.
Yep.
That's going to be a matter of where these respawners go.
Exactly. We do have Country Boy, a new CSA officer, is now pushing his men a little closer to the point. Confederates just need to group up on one side and mass charge. Where are the Confederate officers at? I don't see any on the field.
There might be one in the back. No, there's not.
Well, Confederates have 4 officers. They're just all dead.
Esperal's respawned,
Ah, there he is.
but yeah, he's having to go up against a large Union group. Like a lot of these CSA respawners don't know which way to go. Oh, and looks like they've hit last stand. Union has.
They have, probably in the next minute and a half to 2 minutes, we'll see the Confederates hit final push. So, for those of you who don't know, every Union defender that died right before Last Stand started to respawn, but everyone that died after can no longer respawn. So this will be a slow death for the Union, unless Confederates hit final push, which would lower that timer to probably a minute.
Yeah, and if you look back at their spawn, they've only got a few people that were able to get there in time. You look at about 5 people that respawned on the Last Stand activation.
So we shall see. In terms of server numbers, it's pretty even. So
It's steadily gained people as we've gone on with this game.
that is a good thing. So yeah, I think Confederates are trying to just shoot them down. I don't know if they're organized or not. If they're not organized, that's probably why they aren't charging together or charging in the first place. But are any of the officers saying anything?
I don't see them say anything. Not in chat, at least.
Slow. So yeah, Confederates have gotta get close to final push here. There they are. Oh,
There we
wow,
go.
2 minutes and 20 seconds. Okay, that's a lot longer than I was expecting.
That's more than it was for Schoolhouse.
Yeah. Schoolhouse went to a minute and a half. Huh.
Well, now is the perfect signal for CSA to charge,
Yeah,
because they outnumber all the Union.
exactly. They have infinite tickets too. It's not like they die and they can't respawn. They just need to keep. They just need a non-stop charge at this point. It doesn't matter if you're in formation, skirmishing, or out of line. Just charge. There's not a lot of Union left, so this should be an easy Confederate win here.
You just wasted your life killing an unarmed person.
On the left.
Yeah, Union beginning to lose the point here. Confederates are swarming the point. You still have a couple Union skirmishers out there, but that's basically it for this round.
Yep. Not a lot of
Red Lady,
coordination
Red Lady.
between really any of these teams.
No.
Even for Union that was close together, they moved out of the point piecemeal and in different groups. They've just failed because of it.
Yeah, them deciding to stick onto the point instead of falling back, I think killed them. But then again, I still think Confederates would have won this. That's the end of the round. But yeah, I think Confederates would have won. Oh, that's kind of cool, the marching animation there. But yeah, there's so many Rambos on the Union. I don't know if it would have mattered too much. But yeah. Did you have any more thoughts, Corded, about this round?
No, nothing. That's pretty much all there is to say about it, I think.
Yeah. Well done to the Confederates. I mean, I guess they did what they need to do. Union had a lot of Rambos that really killed them. Union also not falling back in the middle of the round killed them. That's really all. I think Union mistakes is more why the Confederates won, not some Confederate outstanding play. But it's not like you can really do outstanding plays as the attackers on this map. I mean, there's really only 2 ways to attack. Yeah.
Yeah, right now it seems like Union's lost more people being the defending team.
Wow.
That's the opposite of what is supposed to happen.
Yeah, they took West out of line too, which is also surprising. But yeah. With that being said, please like, comment, share, subscribe for more. Join our Discord. Thank you for Corded for coming on. And with that being said, we'll see you guys in the next one.